A very, 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 very good morning and lovely Friday morning here. As you can see, we've got quite a misty morning once again, and we are at Gowrie Dam. It's quite a dramatic scene around this area. Of course, yeah, at the Djuma Private Game Reserve in the world-renowned Sabi Sand, South Africa. Good morning, everybody. My name is Cedric, and behind the camera with me on Rusty, we've got Odie. So yes, thanks for joining us on our sunrise safari. So I'm sitting at the dam at the moment. Apparently there was a male leopard called Mowati that came past here and he went down Twin Dams Road. So very shortly I think I might turn the vehicle around and head down that road to see if we can locate on that male leopard. It would be fantastic to have a start like that this morning. But yes, joining us on a drive this morning, on Wendy, we've got Lauren and Gert up in Pridelands, Chris and BK all the way in the northwest in Madikwe, Trishala and Lloyd, and all the way down in the Eastern Cape at Amakala, Ralph and Morgan. As you can see, it is a live and interactive show. So if you want to send questions and comments through, or even some great suggestions, please send them through. If you are watching on the WildEarth app or the website, make sure that you do register with us so you can send them through and keep us all entertained and keep our minds and our brains ticking over. Fred, a misty morning. Yes, indeed, Fred. It is right, yeah, right, said Fred. But it is beautiful. I think it's not a breath of wind. As you can see, even the water, it's like a mirror this morning. All the reflections bouncing off. Oh, it is just gorgeous. But, ooh, there goes a Birchall starling that just almost took Odie out there. You can see some Egyptian geese. There is a hippo in the water as well. I'm not too sure which hippo, but there is a hippo far in the inflow. Greg, it is a little bit fresh this morning. It is fresh. It's, you know, it is still winter. Still going to get these fresh mornings, but it's fine. Seems like the sun is going to come out today. I'm sure it's going to be a nice warm afternoon, or morning and afternoon. So I think it's going to be marvelous. Oh, look at that Egyptian geese. He's just sitting right on top of that dead tree, just scanning the area, looking around. Where did that leopard go, Mr. Geese? Where did it go? But apparently I heard it went down Twin Dams. I'm hoping that we can start moving very soon to start following up on that male leopardo. I think let's do that, because yeah, let's move on. Alrighty then. While we do that, let's go and take a look at the weather today.
Now look at that. Look at that. What an incredible sunrise here at Pridelands. And, well, it's going to be a relatively cool day today, but at the moment the weather conditions are actually quite okay. And I'm looking forward to find some lions this morning. Good morning, everybody. My name is Chris Erasmus, and with me right there behind the camera is BK Uhuru and our plans to find lions. We heard them roar somewhere around there last night. They were vocalizing profusely. So we're going to basically, right after this, we're going to head over to the northeastern parts of Brightlands, hopefully try and find those cats. That will be a great morning if we can achieve that on this incredible Friday. But what we have here is we've got a layer of clouds, low-lying. And we just have the sun, just found that little gap right on the horizon. And just look at those colors. That is incredible. We are not going to spend too much time here. Peter from the UK, good morning. And it is indeed a lovely sunrise. So while BK was framed up on this sunrise, and the sun is now going to disappear behind the clouds, I just managed to find a nice little jewel for us. Right, BK said I'll hold it right here. Look at that. And no, it is not a snake, it's a snake skin. Look at that. Literally as I made my way towards the car, I found this. Now, there is a way to figure out what snake this is. You can count scales, you can look at structure of scales, you can look at its face. But one thing we can look at, I'm not sure if BK can get this. All right, look at those big, round eyes. So obviously the skin is inside out as this snake has shed, but those big, round eyes are very characteristic of boomslang. So I'm 99% convinced that this skin is from a young boomslang, which translates to tree snake, the most venomous snake in South Africa as far as toxicity goes. It needs minute amounts of venom to be lethal. However, if the snake should bite you, the onset of symptoms is usually very slow. And it's got a very strong hemotoxin, which attacks the body's clotting mechanism. So what basically happens, it's almost like overdosing on something like warfarin. Your blood becomes very thin. You will basically start hemorrhaging through any capillary area, meaning your eyes, everywhere where there's superficial capillary veins. You literally bleed out eventually. However, fatalities are rare with this particular snake. It's got a game drive viewing vehicle going past us at the moment. Just waiting for them. And there is also an antivenom for the snake. Hi there, Catherine. Very cool indeed. Very cool. And that's what I love about, setting up. Oh, there's the eco training students just drove past us. But anyway, going back to the antivenom of the snake. It's called a monovalent antivenom. So the two types of antivenoms that you get in South Africa, you get polyvalent and monovalent antivenom for snake bites. The polyvalent is basically a combined antivenom that's usually produced for the majority of the venomous snake. Mambas, most of our cobras, a lot of the adders and so forth. So it's one antivenom for all those snakes. Boomslang, the one I had in my hand, has its own monovalent antivenom that essentially is specifically produced for boomslang. And as I said, the onset of symptoms very, very slow, usually over a day or two. And the administration of antivenom is usually very effective. It literally stops the symptoms almost instantly.
Stay up to date with the latest happenings at WildEarth. Discover what goes on behind the scenes and get a weekly recap of the best moments on the channel.
He's got it! And he's straight up a tree!
Sign up to be an explorer and receive our newsletter written just for you and sent straight to your inbox every week. WildEarth Explorers, a club for people who are passionate about nature.
Thank you for joining us and have a fantastic morning.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up, and I'm not attacking anybody, but I grew up with the understanding that snakes are bad. You should eliminate them when they are seen. You know, you don't know what snake this is, etc., etc. And subsequently, when I started entering my field of expertise, nature guiding and habitat management after my studies, when I got to know snakes and study them as part of my initial studies and subsequent lifelong study as a guide, I realized that they obviously have their place in the environment. Goodness, Beaker, how did we move from a sunrise to a snake discussion? Anyway, love how it goes. You know, snakes have their place in the environment. They have a very important role to play, and if left alone, they are harmless. And yes, there are incidents where people get bitten. Yes, people sometimes get very sick due to that. But those instances are very few and far in between. You get a better chance to be struck by lightning than to be bitten by a snake.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the other half of the Juma team that have started with quite a bang. We do have some very frozen looking buffalo. We found them. Everyone's been looking for you guys this morning. It seems they decided to stay on our property after last night, which is really great news. We didn't want them to leave. We want them to be here. Good morning. My name is Lauren. Kat is on camera and we are frozen. My fingers hurt so much. These gloves of Darby's are not very good gloves. That's what I get for stealing them. But just a recap from last night, we did have the Talamati breakaways on the northern cut line last night, which is wonderful to see them again. And naturally, we need to wipe our lines. Naturally, the buffalo are still here. Looking absolutely frozen. But there's a lot happening this morning, especially in the east where I am right now. So we may have to make space around these buffalo. But I think we're just going to work the east and see what happens. Once these guys get moving. But if they have come all the way from Buffelshoek Dam, which is in the north, it's in the northeast, then they've been working this block. At least if you're tucked in the block at night time, it's a little bit warmer. You're going to hide from that wind chill. Just trying to keep my ear on the radio because there's a lot happening. Amber, good morning to you too. The lens needs a wee wipe again. Good morning. You are watching from the UK. Excellent. I wonder whereabouts. It must be very early there. You guys are an hour behind us. So you must be an early riser. I hope you've got lots of coffee and you're keeping warm. I don't think it's been much of a summer there for you guys. If it is the same herd from last night, I think Cedric said there was around 100. 100 plus. Oh my goodness. Okay, that is a lot of buffalo. They're going to make a big difference to this area. The number of buffalo moving through this area recently is incredible. Great big herds. I'm hoping they're going to get moving soon. Oh wait, okay. We might actually be getting up.
On Chillicothe line north of Central. Clayton? Cedric, standing by. Morning, buddy. Sorry, where's Zinniari? I didn't copy that. Apparently they're on Central, just west of Chillicothe line. Okay, copy.
Clayton, what was your original message, sorry?
This is Gala on Gary Main, just west of Jesse Brink. There's a special animal on Chillicothe north of Leadwood, and yeah, it's all happening.
Yeah, it is. Okay. We're going to leave these in Yari, but you can't miss them. Okay. I believe there are just lions around the corner, as you probably heard. So I just want to see what is happening here. We're on the eastern boundary and everything is happening. But we will come back to these buffalo. It's just the morning is perfect time to get moving. We're being called in right, left and centre. Vicky! Standing by.
Morning, Lauren. Lauren, you know there's Yari. Do you know if they're hovering in which direction?
They are very static right now.
Okay, no problem. Thanks for that, Lauren.
Vicky, it can be anything. I mean, the herd at Amakala is very small. It's about 20. And the big herds you get here are around 100. Sometimes you can get small little sort of offshoot herds. In the Masai Mara, the herds can go up to 500. So it really depends on the area that you're in and sort of the resources. Is it a closed system? Is it an open system? So I really don't think there's an average figure for how many buffalo in a herd. It can really change across the board. Okay, we're gonna need to try and figure out what is going on in Cheetah Cut Line, but there is a lot happening. I just want to find out where these lions are because I don't think they're very far. Whew, it is so fresh this morning. Ah. But the thing is, the faster you drive, the colder you get. But you also need to drive fast to get places. Okay, we're gonna try and figure out what's going on this morning, and you guys are gonna head back over to Cedric.
Yes, well, apparently they've got some lions around on this, I think the south eastern corner of Djuma. So I think Lauren is going to go and follow up there with the guys that side. But I'm going to continue on my search for a leopard here. So I'm going to go down towards Treehouse Dam just to see if a mole did not head further south towards the Treehouse Dam area. So let's see if we are lucky this morning with some rosettes. Definitely having a feline Friday, which would be fantastic. And yeah, let's cross fingers. But Moawati, following up on that male leopard is quite tough. You have to just really think ahead of time, think ahead of what he's thinking and where he's going, and try and see if we can cut him off somewhere. But yeah. Shannon, good morning. It's Feline Friday. Alright, let's take a look here. So I'm going to go slowly towards Treehouse Dam area. A lot of tracks here, a lot of hyena tracks up and down. That's what I see here so far. Alright, let's go a little bit further on. Just loads and loads of hyena tracks heading straight towards Treehouse Dam area. I don't see any leopard tracks here at the moment. Dreamwild, my reps went south into Little Gowrie. That's the last thing that happened to that young male leopard. Went straight south into Little Gowrie, into a property that we cannot go into, and yeah, that's the last. Oh, the sun is coming out now. It's getting a little bit warmer, not much. It's starting to at least warm my body up, but yeah, still very chilly. I'm not going to think. I'm trying to think now more where would he go from Gowrie Dam? You'll see there at about 5:30. So about just over an hour ago. But you know, in an hour he can cover quite a huge distance when he starts moving. So we'll just have to scan this area properly. But so far nothing coming towards Treehouse Dam. He might have cut across, he might have continued going down south. I do apologize for the wiping of the lens. There's a lot of moisture in the air. So of course the lens does fog up quite a bit. lapwings and birds are making noises here. Let's just see what's happening here at Treehouse Dam. A lot of noise happening this side. Alright, well, we're going to continue trying to see if we can get any other tracks of Mowati, that male leopard. Let's head over to Madikwe, as Trishala and Lloyd wants to say good morning.
Good morning, everyone. We're at the Bat Caves. We were hoping to get you just in time for all the baboons to start emerging to start their day. It's so cool. They're all over the mountain. So cool. Hi, everyone. It's me, Trishala. I've got Lloyd on camera, and we're in Madikwe. Like I said, we're here at the Bat Caves. No bats just yet. Well, at least they've probably already gone inside to roost. Yet again, I am slurring because my face is very cold, so please excuse me. It is warming up, though. But we've been getting some amazing vocalizations. Can you imagine being in this whole cave system? Listen to that. And them shouting. This is phenomenal. I know we've seen baboons plenty of times, but for me this just feels so amazing because they're in this cave system. They're weaving in and out of the tunnels. Oh, wow. And this is a really large troop. I know that when we hear that shout... Oh, let me send you quickly over to Cedric.
Quick link. As we stop at Treehouse Dam, I was listening to those birds. As I was explaining, I heard these birds calling, "Here's a leopard, here's a leopard." We found a leopard. I want to see who it is. Let's stop here. Just now it's more white and he disappears. So let's just stop here. He's coming down the road. Oh, it's coming down the road. Who is it? It looks like Marips. It's Marips. It's Marips. It's a male leopard. Oh, here he comes. Here he comes. Yes! Oh my word. Hello, my boy. Look at this. Was a young male leopard known as Marips, and as we sit here, we heard these birds going crazy. I said, there must be something here. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Polly, yes, indeed. Yeah, this is brilliant. And thanks to the birds, I'm going to turn around. You're right there. Of course, still moving around, still nice to see him around here. Let's see, let's turn around. He's going to drink. Oh, yes, Odie. Like that, huh? Look at that. No, wait. No, let's take a look here. Oh, and as you see, he's busy drinking now from the Treehouse Dam. The birds are going crazy, and I think this is a perfect find for a feline Friday. The Egyptian geese are not happy. And of course this young male leopard, he's about 3.5 now. And well, he hasn't got a territory yet, and he's still looking for an area that he's actually trying to find to set up for himself. And of course, moving back and forth, and still on borrowed time in his dad's territory, so the Mowati male. This is his area, and of course my reps is still moving through here, but I don't know, sooner or later at this age they will start moving away and start becoming nomadic for a bit, and then start looking for an area that he can actually go and settle down and have his own territory. But for now he's still moving back and forth, back and forth. I was hoping he was going to head over to maybe the northern side, a part of Juma, where there was a male leopard called Tawangumi, and he was now, oh, he died about a month ago, just over a month ago, and we're thinking that maybe old Marips will decide to actually go and set his territory up in that area, but never know, time will tell. But look, he is now moving across the dam wall, a very proud male leopard. It's so nice to see this boy, almost a fluffy ears. Look at that tail. Chris, he is so handsome. Alright, let's. I don't want to lose him, so let's try and get going here. Try and keep him. As I said, I don't want to I don't want to lose Marips. Very nice. Wow, wow, wow. Yes. I'm just I'm just stoked about this, getting a leopard, especially Marips. Where are you going to take us, huh? Where are you going to take us now? Alright, so from Treehouse Dam, looks like he might just be sniffing around here. Oh, scent marking as well. Are you scent marking, my boy? Or you, oh no, he's just doing his business. What are you doing? Oh no, he's doing his number 2. Yep, that's what he wants to do. And number 2. Now he's heading up north on towards Taxon's Road, and I'm thinking always that Mulwati might be, of course, coming down this side, and I never know, they might even bump into each other, so I'm going to stick with him to see exactly how far he's going to move. But it looks like his general direction might be going north. Alright, let's move on with him. Solitary, but a male like this, so all leopards are solitary, but a male like this, he hasn't really got like a general direction. He hasn't got like an area that is like scent marking. So if you're looking at territorial males, you know, they've got the general kind of area that they mark, scent mark and all that, where Marips is more kind of almost like a zigzag for the last year or so, because you know, he hasn't got an area that he's really kind of marking. But we'll see what happens. He's getting big. He's really getting to a beautiful size now. Beautiful size. Alright, well, we're going to continue following this beautiful male leopard. Let's head over to Lauren, as she's also got some cats of her own. Yes.
What a morning we're having. It was getting called right, left and centre. We have the black dam males, I believe, who look just as frozen as a buffalo and my fingers. But look, that sun is kissing them now. That gorgeous sunlight that I can also feel. It's not warm yet, but we're getting there. It must feel amazing. This guy's definitely got the right idea. The other guy looks like he's a bit in the shade to me, which is not ideal. It's a bit shaded. I would be in the sun. But we are on our southern boundary. I remain not too far from cheetah cut line. And I guess not terribly far away from the buffalo. Hello, boys. The last time I saw you, you were having a bit of a scuffle over a lady. Fascinating. It's been so quiet the past few days. Really, really quiet. And then all of a sudden, boom. We've got leopard, we've got lion, we've got buffalo. There's actually a rhino sighting not too far away as well. That's 4 of the big 5, and I'm sure there are elephants there too. It's nice to see these males. I have to say I do like them. Oh, okay. Oh dear. Gaat er weer upwind or downwind?
Luckily there's no wind.
Gaat said luckily there's no wind. Be careful where you choose to sleep, my boy. Oh, okay. That's not that far away. All right. This could become an awkward sighting just in that it is on a boundary line. But we'll try and work it as much as we can. Not getting that name, I'm afraid. I think it's Larissa. I actually know the age of these lions, so that's difficult to answer your question because the knowledge is already there. They were born in late 2017, so they're just approaching 6. I think there's still 5, as far as I know. And Marissa. And they're approaching 6 this year. Same as in Tima, actually. So it's hard to answer your question because I do actually know their age. I wouldn't be looking for signs of how old they are. We do know these males. They are the black dam males. I got to meet them the last time I was here in February. Very briefly. And this is my second sighting of them this time. So if they hop over that road that you saw earlier, that's a good thing, because then they'll be on our side. But currently they are on Little Gowrie. It's Little Gowrie by now, isn't it? The Chitwa Little Gowrie boundary. Lions making a comeback. This must be when the animals really sleep. You can feel that sun on your face, that warmth. I know that these two boys are mating. They're also covering great distances. Okay, we're going to try and figure out what is happening with this sighting. Boundary line sightings are always a little bit tricky. But for now, over to Ralph to say good morning.
Yes, indeed. Hello, everybody. Good morning and welcome to the Sunrise Safari, where we're coming to you live from the Amakhala Game Reserve down in the Eastern Cape province of South Africa, where we've come out in the hopes of finding a secretary bird's nest with chicks, because we had reports that there are in fact chicks, but we're not quite sure if it's this nest. We're going to have to keep on moving around and see where exactly they are. My name is Ralph Kirsten, and on the camera I've got Morgan with me. Guten Morgen, and Guten Morgen once more to all of you. What's our plan for today? We're going to come in, just check if the nest is active, if there are in fact secretary birds here. We can't see any for now, so I'm not quite sure that this is the nest that was reported to have new little chicks. But we're in the area where the lions were last seen on a kill, so I'm going to try and also get in there and see if we can find the female with the cubs. They're growing up now, nice and fast, and they should be starting to help the adults hunt. So it will be very interesting. And after yesterday spending some time with Phumelela, the female cheetah, with her 4 little cubbies, it will be a nice follow-up to find the lions with their little cubs. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show with us. Jump on board with us, and please, as always, don't forget that this is a live and interactive experience. We'd love for you to send through your questions and your comments. You can do that by going on the WildEarth website and registering. Thank you, Hillary. Good morning to you as well, and thanks for the good luck wishes. I think we'll try our best to find those Panthera Leo with little cubbies. They're not so little anymore. They've grown up quite a lot, and I'm sure they're being naughty as ever. So it will be nice to catch up with them. Yes, indeedy. What else would you guys like us to look out for? You can let us know. Always good to know what is on your wish list. It is just over there. Is that a common fiscal? You might have heard him calling, that very typical chwee, 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 chwee. He's still calling. If you can hear him over the noise of the hardy-dars.
Chatting around a fire is an ancient practice that has connected humanity for centuries, and we want to keep it alive in our modern age. As an explorer, you'll have access to intimate gatherings with our naturalists, fascinating guests, and experts where we share knowledge, insights, and stories around a crackling fire. Rediscover the power of connection. Sign up to be an explorer today and experience the magic of WildEarth's Fireside Chats.
Alright, so we still got Marips here. We had some amazing moment now with him. He went on top of the one termite mound, of course, one of the Djuma clan's den site, that big termite mound, and he actually stuck his head into the termite mound to see if there was anything around there. But now he is still moving in the northeasterly direction, and well, he's just sitting here at the moment, just listening out and figuring out in which direction he wants to go. But isn't he beautiful? He's almost like kind of curled up in a way because he's nice and cool this morning, nice and fresh. What are you gonna do now, my boy? What's your plan of action? Alright, so there's one or two other vehicles coming into the sighting now. We're going to hear the vehicles coming through, so they're also coming to join me with all this beautiful young male leopard, or Marips, and he's just enjoying the sun. He's like sitting here, he's just enjoying the sun. Rudy, if Mowati and Marips bump into each other now, I think, look, Mowati's not going to be very happy. He wants his son to move on. He wants his son to get out of this area now, because, as you know, there's been mating leopards here on Djuma, and if Marips is getting like now to three and a half years old, yes, he's going to slowly become, getting to the time where he becomes sexually active. And then if he's going to get interested in a female that's in heat, and the father, Mowati, that's going to be much bigger than him, is going to say, no, my boy, you've got to move on, you've got to get out, you've got to go look for a territory of your own. So, but we keep on saying that every single time. We've mentioned it over and over. It's like, I'm sure maybe it's going to be the last time we see Marips here before he starts venturing away, and he comes again, and we see him again, and we see him again. And he's still pretty much in the center of his dad's territory, and on top of that, his mom's territory, of course, Thandi. But Thandi is no longer with us, but so he's still, and he knows this. I think he feels comfortable here. He knows this area so well. He knows this place because since as a cub, he's been brought through this entire area by his mom, up and down, and so he knows this area. So he feels confident, he feels comfortable. So that's why maybe he's still hanging around. But yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, let's try and move here, as he is moving away. Let's try and move a little bit. Yeah. All right, Odie, I don't know how we're going to get through here, but let's see if we can just get this one in the center, like that. Alright, let's move around. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, because I mean, as I said, Mowati is coming down from that side. I'm sure that Marips heard his dad calling this morning. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens out here. Maybe we bump into him as well, while we're sitting with this young boy. Alright, let's try and get over here. Alright, let's sit like that, Odie. Alright, so I do apologize. There's one or two cars coming through. Look at that beautiful backlight as well. Hooray. I think none of us are complaining about Marips that keeps popping up for us. And that's why I'm hoping, I'm crossing fingers that he decides to go back to the northern area of the Sabi Sands, or Sabi Sands of Djuma. And he sees it, hold on, but there's a little bit of a void in that area where Tavangumi, left. And I'm thinking maybe that he will try and see if that is going to be a possibility for him. But as well, you must remember, maybe Mulwati, even tortoisespan, being those big leopards, male leopards, those are going to see that the possibility for them and a chance for them to stretch their territory. So, it's going to be quite a tough, thing for him to really try and compete with bigger boys around this side. Mulwati and tortoisespan, they are big males. And the size of this young boy, he's really pretty much in that middle weight category between a full-grown female and a full-grown male. I mean, a full-grown male is like 75, 80 kgs. Full-grown female is about 35, 40. And I feel that Marips is in that center of like about 60, 65 kilograms. So he's in that pot. But he is going to get much bigger. That neck is going to, of course, widen. He's going to get the dewlap. His body's just going to pretty much get more muscular. And eventually you'll find he's going to be a big boy. Oh, yep. He's like, yes. Maybe steam coming out of his mouth there. Bruce from the UK. No, there's no mating seasons for leopards. It's throughout the year, not seasonal. Alright, he's moving a little bit. Alright, we'll have to try and reposition here to Tadiwa. So we have to, because there is other vehicles and we have to, he's heading straight to. So we're going to try, and I'm just telling Tadiwa, our director, that unfortunately we need to have to maneuver our way around this area now to try and get a better position, because it's going to be a bit tough here. Okay, let's see. Okay, as you see, the problem is this drainage line ahead of us is going to go in there. Alright, well, we're going to try and keep up with Marips and see if we can follow here. While we do that, let's head over to Lauren with the Black Dam males. Lovely.
I predicted it wrong. I thought this sighting was going to be very busy, but actually there is stuff happening everywhere. So you two boys have been abandoned and we're the only ones here. Are you going to move on to Djuma after those buffalo? Are you going to look for ladies? And coalitions can vary greatly in size. The average is about 2 or 3, I believe, the average figure. But if you think about these two boys and the fact that they've got each other in comparison to the likes of the S8 male, which is a little bit of an unusual scenario, he's just on his own. Yes, he hangs around with the pride, but in terms of males, he's just on his own. I remember in the Masai Mara we encountered 2 boys, it was 2, but they were a nomadic coalition, the Chilla boys. They were not territorial. They just roamed and floated across the Masai Mara without displaying any territorial behaviour. They didn't have a territory. They survived by floating, I guess, which is a usual technique for cheetah, but not necessarily for lions. In the Masai Mara, of course, the area that we were in, there's a really high density of lions and coalitions. So possibly the survival technique for those Chilla boys was just to float, to roam, to avoid, to be quiet. So this is not the case with the black dam males, but it's just interesting to see that not every sort of coalition or every male will follow that path that is mapped out for them. Now they're both in the sunshine. Kerry, you're asking where their name comes from, black dam males, and their NATO pride, where these boys originated from, was the Black Dam Pride. So now that they've separated from the pride, they've left the pride for sure, and they've formed their own coalition. They've become the Black Dam males. It's a lot easier to name lions, prides and coalitions after their sort of NATO pride or maybe the area that they come from. If you start giving them local names or just very casual names, it's going to get very confusing. So that's why they're called the Black Dam males. So if you think about it, these boys have known each other their whole life. And the sighting I had when I first arrived on Chitwa, one of the males was actually mating. And the female ended up walking towards the other male, and it just caused a bit of a scuffle, and these two boys fought. Whew. It was an unbelievable sighting. So although they're bonded for life, they will still fight over food and ladies. The most important things, right, boy? One of them's got quite a full mane, one of them mane not so full, so they are easy to tell apart, although you can't see that right now.
Hi, my name is Claire. WildEarth has been part of this home for many years as it connects us to the bush and the culture that we love and miss so much. I became an explorer so that other people around the world can get to experience the African bush in this unique way as well. I am beyond excited that I was drawn to win the prize at Amakhala Game Reserve for 3 nights. It is truly a dream come true.
Sign up today and you could be the one experiencing it for yourself.
So they don't only eat snakes, but they do specialize in snakes. Here on Amakhala, especially at this time of year, there's not a lot of active reptiles. Unless the sun comes out and it bakes, then you have the odd day where there may be more activity. But mostly they'll be feeding on rodents, mice and rats, but lots of field mice around here. And at the last nest, as I think that was the male that flew off, we did see them bringing a lot of mice back to feed the chicks. Now it's always lovely to watch secretary birds, especially when they have a nest and chicks like this, because they'll go off hunting and they then bring back live food for the chicks, and they'll fight over it when they do return. And the older they get, the sort of more aggressive the chicks become. And it's lovely to watch as they grow and evolve, and they grow extremely quickly as well. So now that we've got this nest, I think we'll spend quite a bit of time here over the next while.
We're still sitting here with our sleepy boys. They've probably been patrolling all night. I'm sure they were called in yesterday much further southwest. So they probably moved a fair distance. And I really, really hate it when people call lions lazy. Yes, they do sleep a lot, but my goodness, so do other animals. Leopards can sleep. Hyenas can really sleep. And it's because they're nocturnal. Moving really great distances throughout the night. And it really does boil down to energy budget. So being on territorial patrol, marching, scent marking, calling, that all eats into your energy budget. Lone wolf, the lionesses don't have to do all the hunting. It's not the case. They don't have to. Of course, the lionesses are a unit. They're a pride. Very often they'll have cubs, they'll have sub-adults, and therefore they have to hunt. So the boys like these will just make the most of them. And they are renowned for stealing from the prides. Because they can. It's the easy life. Work smarter, not harder, right? And therefore, that's why lions sort of get the reputation for always stealing from the ladies. But these boys can hunt, let me tell you. There is no way you're going to have a powerful animal like that. Look at the size of his head. He could chomp my head off in one bite. No way do these boys not hunt. Of course they do. When they're not with the pride, they separate for long periods of time. There are 2 of them here. More power, more coordination, more skill. Male lions absolutely do hunt. They have to. They can't just follow the ladies around all day, every day. They've got jobs to do. They will also reign over multiple prides. They'll walk great distances. They've got to be on territorial patrol. And they will hunt all along the way. But they do use the females. Yes, they absolutely do. Females are remarkable hunters as well. And they are known to wait till the females hunt and then steal from them. But that doesn't mean that they do all the hunting, and it doesn't mean that these boys don't. I remember on the dam cam one day, it was during the day, it was winter, I think it was 2 years ago, Darkmane actually jumped on an elephant calf and tried to take down the elephant calf alone. The pride was there, but it was Darkmane. He's the one that jumped on the elephant calf's back. Now, of course, the elephant calf started alerting, trumpeting, squealing, and the mamas were there in an instant. So Darkmane did not get lucky, but he tried. He went for it. Don't be fooled to think that these boys don't hunt. They absolutely do. Tilly, you're 10 years old and you're asking about their diet. Well, they do only eat meat. They are what we call a carnivore, and carnivore means that they're meat eaters. Not like me, I prefer to eat vegetables. But there are different types of being a carnivore, Tilly. There is a hypercarnivore that eats mostly all meat. Then you get a mesocarnivore, Tilly, that sort of mixes a little bit of meat for about half of their diet, and then a little bit of fruit, maybe plant matter. And then you get a hypocarnivore, and those are the ones that eat the least meat. They do eat meat, but then they also eat a whole other range of food. But these guys, the lions, they're definitely hypercarnivore. They eat over 70% meat. And they're equipped to do so. Look at the size of his head. Look at that skull. Wait till you see his teeth. He's got very special teeth at the back. It's called a carnassial shear. And those teeth are equipped for cutting and slicing through very tough meat. He's a hunter. A very skilled one at that. So you may occasionally find a predator nibbling on a little bit grass, but this is sort of said to just clean out their tummy. If maybe they've got an upset tummy or they just need to get things moving. But that's not really part of their diet. Okay, we are going to sit with these boys as long as we can, really. But for now, over to Trishala.
It's nice, and I suppose it's... Oh, sorry, turn that game drive radio off. The sun has come up, and it is well and truly warmer, I should say. And so that means we're seeing all these wonderful animals really start to move and feed. This wildebeest looks very pretty in the light. So there were two wildebeest bulls here. This one looks like the slightly younger one. And they're in and amongst this impala, this impala herd. There's about, it's a mixed herd. I see a couple of rams and quite a few females as well. Oh, I can feel that warmth on my face. And what I'm feeling now, the sun's rays hitting my body, and it kind of like thaws you and really wakes you up. That's exactly what all diurnal animals do in the morning. We see them basking, or before, particularly the small mammals, we see them basking. And even impala, we see them like, they won't eat straight away. They'll wait till the sun kind of energizes them. Birds as well. Can you hear a little bit of that dawn chorus that we start to hear once the sun is peeking out? It's still continuing. Good old impala. Always reliable. Always around. Hi, Ruby. You'd like to know if these horns, the impala horns, are used for anything else besides defense? Yes. So impalas can use their horns to thrash bushes. So when they're feeling territorial around the rut, then you might see some rams thrashing bushes with their head on those horns. They use it to assert dominance. And to be honest, they don't use it that much for defense. Their greatest defense is their athletic ability, their ability to run fast or quickly, to jump significant distances, about 10 to 12 meters across. That's really large or really long, and about 3 meters high. That's what they would usually use for defense. horns, I mean, that's the last line of defense, because to use their horns, the threat has to be right in front of them. And then also the horns are, could be something used in sexual selection. So just the look of the horns, that is, whether they're large, whether they're wide, whether they're thick, all of those things can also have an influence on mate selection.
We love all the support. We read all the comments, and now we want to acknowledge our biggest fans. Do you know when Ribbon was seen last? Or the names of June's cubs? Do you remember the last time we were up close and personal with an elephant? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you are in for a treat. WildEarth's Fan of the Month. We are looking for you. For more details, make sure to read our monthly mailer and keep an eye out on our social media pages. WildEarth, it's in your nature.
As a professional field guide in the African bush? Eco Training's Professional Field Guide course can make that dream a reality. This comprehensive program comprises approximately 5 months of theoretical and practical training in the African bush, with highly qualified instructors where participants will complete various certificate courses. You'll learn essential skills such as animal behavior, tracking and identification, as well as gaining in-depth knowledge of the African bush and its ecosystems, all while living in a real-life safari camp. But the learning doesn't stop there. Following the theoretical and practical training, students will embark on a placement program period of 5 to 6 months. During this time, you'll work alongside professional staff and management at a property, putting your newly acquired skills into practice and gaining substantial practical experience. You'll be fully prepared for a fulfilling and rewarding career as a professional field guide. Enroll today, locally or internationally. Take the first step towards your dream bushveld job today.
So we're still at the secretary bird's nest because it's been very active. The male, he went down on the ground, he walked around and he flew up with a nice big stick. And then it was the discussions about where the stick needs to be placed. between him and the female, and they keep on bobbing their heads up and down. I'm pretty sure in communication with the little chicks. Still no sight on them just yet. And there off goes the male again, presumably to get some more nesting material. And if we see him coming back with a stick, you'll see what I mean with the discussions that are then held as to the best place for the stick to go. And at this time, you'll be moving through this sort of renosterveld. There's lots of nesting material, so you won't struggle to find any. And he'll then fly back up there. But at this time, also, if the chicks are there and they've hatched, there will be a lot of food or feeding requirements. So the adults do have their work cut out for them. They need to get lots of food for these little ones. And as I say, mostly at this time of year, there are lots of rodents still active. So I'm pretty sure that's what they'll be feeding them on. And so between nesting material and food, that's what the male does. They sometimes swap it out, especially when the chicks are this young. One will stay in the nest. So Lisa, I don't know about secretary birds abandoning their nests. I don't know if what you mean is changing of nests, because they will go through the cycle with the clutch that they have, and sometimes they return and utilize the exact same nest. In this instance, we're not 100% sure that it's the same breeding pair that's just a couple of 100 meters away, but I'm assuming so, as I would think that they've maintained this territory as their own. And so with such a short distance to where the last nest was, I'm pretty sure that they've just changed of spot and switched up the nest site. You know, you don't know, maybe the previous nest or that old nest is, maybe it's a bit dirty, maybe there's some defecation inside there, maybe the chicks didn't quite get it right to excavate it out of the nest, and so maybe it's just a bit unhygienic. Maybe they've used that over a couple of seasons and now they've decided to build themselves a new nest site. Regardless though, it is wonderful that we are able to come here and see them nice and clearly. A little bit of a better elevation over the nest than we had at the last spot, albeit a little bit further away, but we'll take it. And nice to know that they are here and there's chicks, because now we can return here on a regular basis and watch as the chicks grow and the adults bring back food to them. And as I say, initially they'll sort of bring a mouse, but they'll pull it apart and feed them pieces of it, and then as they've grown a little bit, then they'll start to bring them live food, and it can be live mice, sometimes live snakes, and then you see these little ravagers and savage chicks. It's incredible how aggressive they are when the adults bring the food back. So interesting times ahead. We've been through the process, and it's lovely that we can now do it again. So Katie, they can hatch sort of even up to about 4. I think the last clutch that we saw, I think there was 4, and then there landed up being 3, and 2 made it. So we assume that the 2 ate the 3rd, and it's generally the hierarchy goes, the first to hatch will be the bigger one, because it gets its first amount of food, and then the second one hatches, then the third one hatches, and so it's just a slight little difference in the size. And because when they get protein, their body absorbs it so quickly and they grow so fast, they get an immediate advantage over the next one. And so when the adults return with food, they're the first to grab it and eat it. And very often you can have the number 3 that doesn't even get any food, because each time the adults return, it's gobbled up before that third one can even get a chance. So they do say that it's a sort of a kind of insurance policy that if number 1 or 2 had to die or not hatch or so on, then that third one will come into play. But if all 3 hatch, generally that's number 3 and number 4, they don't stand much of a chance. They're almost there just in case. But they can also be eaten by their siblings if the adults don't get food regularly enough, or if they have a day where they're not able to find something. Then it's not only an insurance policy, it's also extra protein for those 2 especially that have hatched first. Not a nice way of thinking of it, but that's nature, and that's the reality. So the male searching for the perfect stick or piece of nesting material just in front. So a little bit of clouds now that have come over. It's changed the colour. It's not as pretty as it was, but we'll sit and see if it does poke through again. And that's just a wonderful sighting. Anyway, sounds like Chris over in Pridelands also has a wonderful sighting.
I always find it rather interesting to watch giraffe eat. Just the expression on their face, it's almost like you can see the enjoyment in their face when they eat. It's like they relish what they are eating. And why not? With their height and their long neck, they've got access to the best of the best quality leaves, all those nice juicy bits right at the top of the tree. Very high quality browsing that they kind of like target. It's interesting how they use the lips and the tongue in combination. In this case, not much need for the tongue. It's not a very dense thorn tree that they are eating. In fact, it's a sickle bush. It is broadly related to our thorn trees. The difference being they don't actually have thorns, they have spikes or spines. And what is the difference between thorns and spines? Thorns, like in the case of the acacias, now known as Senegalia or Vachelius, those leaves, those thorns are in fact modified leaves. And the spikes on the sickle bush, for instance, are modified twigs or protrusions from the actual bark. That's the difference. Tyler, hi there, Tyler. Yes, giraffes, always great to see them. Thanks so much for that comment. It's always nice to know that what we put on screen is always appreciated. Thanks for joining us on this live safari, Tyler. That is such a beautiful bushveld scene. Look at that. And for some of our newer viewers that wants to know what bushveld is, well, technically, if you really want to look at it, it's a region in South Africa that consists out of a woodland savanna with a basal layer of grass that dominates the landscape and varying tree cover to the extent that the upper canopy of the trees do not necessarily dominate. There's a perfect example of that. Shrubs and trees with grass. There's also a lot of sentimental value to the bushveld. So much so that some people would refer to where we are as the low veld rather than bushveld. and the rest of the Limpopo province and parts of some of the other provinces is referred to as the bushveld, even though it's very much the same plant community that dominates. So it's a woodland savanna. Good morning, Andre, who's 10 years old. Andre wants to know why some of these giraffes are dark and some of them are lightly colored. Andre, right. The first answer there. Usually the male giraffes are generally darker than the females. Okay. Then as they grow older, they have a tendency to become darker. Okay, but now there's a catch here. We're looking at a very young giraffe here that's very dark colored. Why would that be? Right. So with giraffe, in some areas, they are naturally darker than in other areas, and that could be because of their genetics. It could be something in the soil, a mineral that is absorbed by the plants they eat that could cause this as well. And what I have seen here at Pridelands, in this region, the giraffe are definitely a notch darker than some other parts of the greater region, the greater Kruger Park region. But then some giraffes are naturally darker than others. I've seen all giraffe bulls that are very lightly colored. I've seen young giraffes, like we just saw, that are dark colored. So there's a lot of variance when it comes to the tone or coloration in giraffe.
Those sounds just go straight through you.
Alright, still trying to follow up on Marips. We have lost him going into this drainage line. Just as I thought, we won't be able to follow when he went through here. So I'm just going back onto another road that's just on the northern side of this drainage line. Area that he is heading into. But I think if he's already crossed 10-1, he might actually end up going towards Gowrie Dam. So that looks like that's his direction, is Gowrie Dam, which is not too far from here. And then that's just east of our camp. But I'm just scanning this area. I haven't seen any tracks of the big male leopard that they saw this morning on Dam Cam or Mulwati. He's also coming into this area, so I'm gonna scratch around this area very carefully, very slowly, take a look up every single tree to see if nothing's there, maybe on a termite mound. Or maybe he might still be resting inside of this drainage line. So, yeah, we're going to just give it a go. But how nice was that? Having all Marips this morning. This is nice that Lauren's got the 2 black dam male lions as well. That is a great find. Alright, I think I'm just going to take a look along this side. Only thing about him now, you saw with the other road, he's crossed from one side over the road to the other side, and that easy could do on Ingwe Alley on this road here. So I want to make sure that he is not going to just cutting straight across. As I said, I did take a little bit of a walk in the drainage line as well. Very thick in certain areas, very, very thick. Some areas there that I'll pretty much, when I stand on his tail, and that's when I'll know that he's there. That's how thick it is. So, let's just amble along here. So I put little markers when I was on the other side. Little markers from on this side to see exactly the direction. Alright, well, we're going to continue trying to search in this vicinity for the leopard or Marips. Let's head over to Lauren.
It got really busy at the Black Dam male sighting, so we've decided to come back and check in with the buffalo. Now they're awake. Now they're warm. They're coming down that whole eastern strip, trampling everything down. It's actually amazing how fast they move. They are heading south. Technically, if they continued a straight trajectory, which is unlikely, they would bump straight into the Black Dam males. But they're probably not going to move so straight. Now they're all disappearing just like that. Trying to think. It's going to be tricky. They're on the other side of the drainage line. But let me see if there are some maybe slow coaches down here. I'm going to guess it's a big herd from yesterday, 100 plus. It's always so noisy. You can hear the starlings following them. You can hear the oxpeckers shrilling. You can hear the buffalo. Oh, hello. You guys just hanging out. We're here to hang out with you. The slow coaches. We've still got a view for now. Dreamwild, you're asking about buffalo. We're looking at the African buffalo, but there's actually 3 different subspecies. There's a Cape buffalo, there is a forest buffalo, and there is a Sudanese buffalo. But they are all subspecies, that's not species. So we're looking at a subspecies, the Cape African buffalo. Oh, hear that? Can you see? Ah, there they are. Well done, Gert. Shrilling right above us. Right on the snobthorn. It's a red-billed. We often look for red-billed or yellow-billed. Yellow-billed is not as common. They're sort of the unique one to see. The red-bills are very common. But if you hear that sound, that shrill, and you're maybe on bushwalk, or you're maybe just driving and you're trying to find a bigger animal, if you hear that sound, oxpeckers, you know a big animal is nearby. It could be buffalo, it could be rhino, it could be giraffe. But when they're shrilling like that, you know they're nearby. They're actually really pretty birds, oxpeckers. A bit of controversial debate surrounding them, but I think they're really pretty. I think they're heading towards Battalier. I think that's maybe the best way for us to catch up with them. Let's try. Beautiful knobthorns flowering have just made such a difference to this environment in terms of colours. Beautiful. Everywhere. Every day there's a new one. Boom, boom. They've gone already. They were here moments ago. They're moving really fast. If we don't catch up with them, we always have the option to go to the old Misikria. And it's been a busy morning, that's for sure. Kelly, you get the water buffaloes in Asia. I've seen them in Thailand. They're actually really beautiful animals. Bigger than the Cape buffalo that we're looking at, and adapted for a wetter, marshier environment. Always in the water. So their hooves have actually splayed flatter. They have a large surface area for them to be able to walk this type of. Their nature is slightly different as well. You can see them on the other side. There's a lot sort of farmer, very used to people. You can walk right up to a water buffalo in Thailand. You do get them in Vietnam as well. I wouldn't suggest it, but you can. They're often found around sort of villages and areas where there are lots of people. Yeah, they're marching down this drainage line. We might actually bump into them. Okay, we're going to try and catch up with these buffalo. For now, we're going to send you over to Chris.
We are also looking for buffalo. We had reports of that resident herd of buffaloes that was seen somewhere around where we are now, right in the southern edges of Pridelands. I did see some tracks heading our way. Now we're just circling around the block to see if we can't intercept them. we're also trying to figure out where the buffalo is. We managed to get a nice sighting of the big herd of buffalo. I'm expecting them to be somewhere here in this block, or at least see tracks crossing over from that side to this side. This BK is perched on his little nest here, so he's much higher than I am. So you can see a little bit further. Tim, good day, Tim. Are bison part of the buffalo family? Tim, yes, indeed. So European bison and North American bisons are close relatives of buffaloes. They're also referred to in the North American continent as buffalo as well. Yes, they are relatives of our buffalo, but they are broadly placed in a subfamily called the bovinae, which is the cattle-like animals, which includes domestic cows as well. Musk oxen, Asian water buffalo. So yes, they are indeed in the same family and subfamily. They do look very different though. They do look very different. An animal that I would love to be able to see one day in my life is to see what exists on the North American continent. Never been there. I really want to see if my life at some stage allows me to do a bit of a holiday, a travel holiday to the North American continent, the USA, Canada. Bucket list for me.
Do you love relaxing at a waterhole with the sights and sounds of Africa all around you? Well, we have some really exciting news for you. From August 1st, Africam is joining forces with WildEarth to bring the majesty of Africa right into your living room with 9 incredible new waterhole cameras from across South Africa and Kenya. Get ready to embark on a new journey. This is Live at the Waterhole.
Salam, dankie dat van my jare.
Bear with me, everyone. Yes, I am. They're moving fast. The best visual is probably in Yala Road South, and they're heading south.
All right, copy. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm Yala Road South now. I'll quickly come and join you there.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, there's my radio gone. Yeah, keep coming. You'll see us. They're going to end up in the Mowati. They're following the drainage line. Probably where the moisture still lies. Vegetation is still delicious. That grass is still tasty. And of course, they're following the pathfinders. No one really wants to be left behind. There are lions lurking, we know that. Oh, look at that little one you're just getting a view of. I love it when they're that caramel brown color. It means they're so young.
Okay, so I've given up on the search of Marips. It's a little bit tough here. I've really done the block about 4 times now. I walked in that drainage line where we lost him, and no luck. I've got a feeling he might have gone straight over the road into another block. So yeah, I'm going to give that one a skip for now. I think it'll be a good idea for this afternoon to take a look around this vicinity and to see if he is not lying on a termite mound or in a tree for us or next to the road. But yeah, that was nice. So I think my plan of action now is let's head back to Treehouse Dam. You never know, maybe we get some more luck that side. So I'm going to head straight down to Treehouse Dam and work around that area, and then most probably go west, go see what's happening on the western side of Juma. Maybe some more rosette luck for the morning. Maybe we get lucky with Shadulu or tortoise span. Never know, never know. Well, I never thought that we were going to get lucky with Marips this morning. And funny enough, just before we found Marips was about 5 minutes prior to the time of his discovery. Well, I had a question from one of the viewers. I can't remember exactly which viewer, but there was a question stating that did I get any news about Marips after we saw him 3 days ago? And of course I said, yeah, well, he crossed to Gurry, made into Little Gurry, and that was the last I heard. And then 5 minutes later, boom, 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 there he is waiting for us there at Treehouse Dam, saying, yes guys, did you ring? Did you call me? Did you call me? Ah, thank you so much. So the question about Marips was from Dream Wild. Well, definitely we were dreaming quite wild there this morning, and it happened. So wonderful, wonderful, wonderful discovery. At least we know he's coming back north. That's a good thing. Oh, that's a nice batalia that is situated in a dead tree ahead of us. I'm going to see if we can get a nice little spot to stop here and view this batalia. You think it's fine like this, Odie? Binocs out here. Oh, such stunning birds of prey, and of course a female batalia that's situated there on that dead tree. Look at that stunning wide head. Oh, beautiful orange beak, orange legs. Once again, all Max's drumsticks, and isn't that stunning? Now, if it's a male, you'll have another little bit of a white section situated on the lower part of those wings. This is the breeding pair that is hanging around here on Juma. There is a youngster. They've got a juvenile that's hanging around here as well. But I can't see where the male is. Beautiful bird of prey, this. Hang. Or is it Hank? Hang or Hank? Hank. Oh, Hank. Yes, beautiful bird, this Hank. Sorry, I can't copy you nicely there, Tadiwa. But yeah, beautiful bird, this. And I love it how it actually sprays out those feathers on the head itself. It actually makes it look quite large. Of course, it's going to be a perfect day for them now. It's going to start heating up. The sun's coming out. You'll find that they'll start catching these thermals, these heat thermals. And they start soaring around and in search of any potential food source. And their main diet is, of course, coming from the carcasses, so a lot of carrion. Yes, Betty, you can. We're a little bit far. It's going to be a little bit tough for the camera, but you can just see the orange feet. You can see the talons. Very large. Not as big as some of the other eagles. If you look at look there. Oh, it's even showing us. Look, there it is. He's even showing us the talons now. But not as large as some of the other eagles. If you look at something like your African hawk eagle, Marshall, you know, their talons are huge. Even the fish eagle, very large talons, of course, for grabbing. But because it's a scavenger, it doesn't have to grab. It doesn't have to come swoop down and dig its nails into its prey to kill it and that. No, they are pretty much more scavenging, so they just have to come and land down, hold on to something. Of course, a little long talons, but not as long as those other eagles. And then, of course, they can feed on the dead animal. It's the same as vultures. If you look at vultures' talons, they're not long at all. So they're not really built for grabbing something and taking off with that food source. But the beak, you'll find the beak right at the tip of the beak, very sharp like a hook. And of course that is just to tear open a hide, and of course tear off meat from the carcass. So it is built just for that. Oh yeah, kudus. Did you hear that as well, Adi? A barking of a kudu. Sorry, I heard something. I just took my earpiece out because I need to listen for those alarm calls. Go with your question again, please. There. It sounded like those alarm calls are coming more from the north. What do you say? It's the south. Treehouse Dam, Shabam. Alright, let's go take a look. There is a kudu's alarm calling, so I am going to head slowly towards maybe Treehouse Dam. I'm going to start heading around that side. Sorry, I just want to follow up there. It's not far from here, so it's a typical alarm call of kudu. Oh! Oh! like a barking noise. So yeah, let's go and follow up. I wonder what it could be. Maybe Milwaukee's already come past here. Maybe Columbus coming north. Let's go see. Let's go see. But it's quite far from here, so we'll have to take a little bit of time to try and listen out. I'm hoping Tadiwa gives us that time so we can quickly stop and listen out again.
Are you yearning for a private virtual WildEarth safari adventure with our naturalists and crew? We have got you covered. Sign up to be an explorer before the 15th of August and you could win a private safari experience. Make lifelong wildlife memories with either Steve,
Thank you for joining us and have a fantastic morning.
or Cedric. WildEarth, it's in your nature.
To become a skilled safari guide, traversing the African bush and encountering wild animals up close. Whether you're a retiree, a recent graduate, or a professional seeking a change, the 55-day eco-training program is for you. This comprehensive course will provide you with an unparalleled opportunity to gain expertise in every aspect of the African bush. With the coaching of experienced training guides, you'll embark on an unforgettable adventure that will give you a deep understanding of wildlife, conservation, and African cultures. Over the course of the program, you'll learn essential skills such as animal tracking, bird identification, and bush survival techniques. But the benefits of this rigorous training go far beyond technical knowledge. You'll also form close bonds with fellow nature enthusiasts and conservationists from around the world, creating a global network of like-minded individuals. Your days will be filled with excitement and wonder as you observe animals in their natural habitats and explore the diverse landscapes of Africa. Return home with newfound knowledge, a qualification, unforgettable memories, and a sense of accomplishment that will last a lifetime.
I just saw very, very fresh tracks of buffalo heading towards Ndlovu Dam, which is right up ahead, which is in the central parts of Pridelands. I don't see any buffalo around. I did hear some oxpeckers vocalizing, but it could have been because of impala that we bypassed. Let's just have a quick stop here. It's a beautiful scene, even though we're not right at the dam, but it is a lovely scene. Sometimes you don't have to stop right at the water itself. Just listen out, we can maybe hear, you know, the buffaloes bellow. It sounds similar to cows, like it murr, murr. It was very, very fresh feces of buffalo behind us. But I don't think it's the herd. I think it might be just one solitary male or bull. A couple of birds flying around here, BK, but they don't want to stand still. I can't hear them. Well, that is a beautiful scene anyway, regardless of whether there's an animal or not. Phineas, good morning. Watching all the way from Germany. I just find it interesting how far and wide the reach is of what we do. So happy to know that we're reaching people, and you know, we're connecting you to nature all the way, even though we are thousands and thousands and thousands of miles from each other. So Phineas, thanks for watching. What do we have here, BK? Can we try and get that little birdie there? What is your name? It's a weaver. Probably a southernmost weaver. It's gone now. What's that? Sorry, I'm making it difficult for BK. What do we have here? I can't really see well. That's Quelia or something like that. And red beak. You know, the other beak is very robust, very short. Typical finch-like beak. And that is an adaptation for the consumption of grass seeds and seeds in general. And it's sitting on a sickle bush. Remember we spoke about the spines earlier? So you can see the twigs, what appears to be thorns, that are in fact not thorns, they are spines. And as I mentioned, the difference between thorns and spines is that thorns are modified leaves, spines are protrusions from the bark. Here's the, what's that? Is that a weaver? Probably a southernmost weaver female. It's what we refer to as a bird party. There were wax bills and fire finches and all sorts of things that passed us now. Let's take a look at the eye color. These weavers look very similar. They can be tricky to ID. Beaker is like a drone, he's following it. Nina wants to know if birds with longer beaks, is that an adaptation for them to be able to hunt? Lots of quailias there. Remember I mentioned how the quailias eat grass seeds and they're picking up. That's exactly what they're doing there. Nina, beaks in birds are a very important part of their anatomy because it's their primary way of getting food. So longer beaks, not necessarily for hunting. They have various purposes. We look at things like hoopoes, a long, thin, sort of curved beak for probing into the ground for prey. Yes, so in a way it is hunting. Things like worms and stuff. The quailias, that short finch-like beak for eating grass seeds. Raptors have a slightly longer but very curved sort of beak to tear flesh. So beaks are incredibly diverse when it comes to birds. There's even a bird that's got a beak shaped like a spoon. The African spoonbill. These guys are just having a great time picking up grass seeds. That's what I love about this. We like to watch all animals, big and small. Very peaceful. Having a great morning, I must say. Oh, they are just hammering those grass seeds. Dreamwilds, good morning. Question from Dreamwild: do other birds of prey, will they actually prey on smaller birds? Yes, indeed. There are various different types of goshawks, for instance, and falcons especially, who are specialist hunters of other birds, most notably lanner falcons, peregrine falcons, for instance, are falcons that are specialist hunters of other birds. It'd be nice if a firefinch can join these guys. It would be nice to see a firefinch. They're one of my favorite small birds. The beautiful sort of red and brown colorations on them, hence the name firefinch, which is not what we're looking at the moment, but they often associate with other seed eaters. For instance, waxbills. Often you will see one of the firefinch's species associating with flocks of blue waxbills. Right, let's quickly go to Cedric. He's got something for us. We'll be back.
Look, we've got Shadulu. We've got Shadulu, a female leopard. Can you believe it? As we are coming towards Zoe's, we've got Shadulu crossing out Gary Main into Juma. Of course, a beautiful leopardess, and she's still got a bit of a limp. I know she's got that sore in the front right of her leg. It is a leopard morning. Ah, love it. All right, let's try and get here. Let's try and follow. Yeah, come, let's go. All right, let's try and get through here. Ooh, it's going to get thick, but let's do it. Let's do. At least there's no drainage line this time. Okay, let's just try and push this tree over there. Alright, we're going to try and get a nice little position so we can at least get her nicely. I'm going to try there, eh? What do you think, Odie? Yeah, but her wound is healing up very nicely. So she's got a bit of a wound on that front left leg of hers right on top. But it seems, unfortunately, the leaf is in the way there now. But it's healing perfectly. She's sniffing out something. I'm not too sure exactly what she's picking up on. She's just looking around. This is going to be a very tough block, this, but we shall try our utmost best to stay with her. I was hoping when we saw Shadulu now that her little cub was going to be with her, because we haven't seen a male cub yet, and it would be nice just to see that youngster. I think he's now 8 months. I think he's 7 or 8 months old now, her young male cub. So she must probably left him now back in one of the drainage lines. Alright, let's go. Ready? I don't want to lose her here. Alright. No. Alright. Just watch out there, Odie. Try to get past there. Alright. We can try and get through here. Wait, let's see. Oh no, we can't. There's a stump there. Oh, let's try and get through here. That's it. You're right there, Odie. You're doing well there. Fantastic. Alright, she's gone now onto this termite mound. And that's it. Her name means Shadulu means termite mound. I'm just going to go around. Just hold on there, Odie. Just hold on. Yeah, I know. Just hold on. Just hold on. We gotta get there, Odie. We gotta do it. Oh, there. Look at that. There we go. Shadulu's on top of a Shadulu. Look at that. Hello, my girl. Yeah, I know that wound is definitely healing up quite nicely from the last time we saw her. That was about a week ago. We got to see her. And it looked quite nasty, but it seems like it's getting much better. And we've got a feeling it might have been maybe a warthog tusk or something that kind of gorged her there on the front left leg. But of course, a lot of healing properties in their saliva. So when they do lick that wound, it helps them quite a bit. Just to heal up. But isn't she stunning? There's a big female. It's out of females. It's one of the largest females I've seen. Bad Tico, not solitude, as a solitary. So yes, they are solitary cats, and they will move around by themselves. Unless if it's a female like Shadulu, if she's got a cub with her, because sometimes the cub will move around with her. But other than that, there are solitary cats. Or if it's a male and female that's busy mating. So you can imagine for those 4 or 5 days, you'll have the two of them moving together. But they are very solitary cats. Oh, look at that. Great camera work by Odie once again. Just capturing that beautiful face. Wunderbash, thanks so much. Yes, it's all happening this morning. Feline Friday, and I am so stoked. Oh, okay, now she's going to pose for us. Even better, with a little grass in front of her nose. well, we can't be too upset about that little piece of grass because she's decided to kind of relax a little bit on the top of this termite mound, nicely elevated. She's got a nice vantage point, so she can see nice and far, see what's happening around her. And from us, it looks like it's very low. But if you climb on those termite mounds, you'll actually realize how elevated you are. You can see there, on top of that termite mound. So when are you going to bring your youngster over to Djuma? I am waiting very patiently for that moment. But you'll find if she does make a kill, this is when it might happen. If she makes a kill on Djuma and she hoists that kill into a tree, she'll go back and go get her cub, and then she'll bring her cub back to where she's left that kill. So that's when we will be able to get to see that cub. But for now, she's really hiding her youngster towards the western side of Djuma in a place called Arathusa. They're in a drainage line, the Maraken drainage line. But it's not too far from Djuma property. But she feels that it's maybe the cub is a little bit safer there. It's in the middle of the cub's father's territory, that's sort of tortoise pad. Leopard Lover says, great framing there, Odie. There's Odie's thumb. He's acknowledging your comment there, Leopard Lover. Saying thank you. So I just want to try and get these other guys in here, because it's the stations that's approaching Shadulu Lock.
What's the lineup for Zulu?
It's just myself on lock, but yeah, we're in Makulu Schlatin at the moment, between Shabamu and Philemon's cut line. So yeah, we're pretty much inside that Schlatin. Sorry, just telling them.
Can I come and join?
You can, if you can make your way in here, if you can find me. Sorry, I'm just letting the guy know he can make his way towards this leopard lock, the sighting. But yeah, to get into here, it's going to be quite a mission to guide some of the vehicles. Oh, and that's exactly what I thought, just doing to try and come to the western area, hoping that she was going to be here. Ryan from the UK, how can I tell the difference between Shadulu and Marips? Well, Ryan from the UK, Marips has got the golden nuggets under his tail, and Shadulu is a female. As you can see, there's no golden nuggets sticking out there. So that's how I'll tell between Shadulu and Marips. One's a male, and the other one is a female. As well, you can take a look on Shadulu's right ear on the tip. It's got like a little V right on top there, like a little nick out of her right ear. But oh, she had the most beautiful father, and her father is the Anderson male. Absolutely a beast of a male leopard. Huge, very light. I got to see him quite a few times when I used to work at Arathusa, and he is a stunning boy. Her mom is the Ingrid Dam female, and the Ingrid Dam female is a female that is inside Londolozi. Another property a little bit further southwest from where we are. I think Shadulu now, if I'm not mistaken, I think she is a 6'7". I'm just going to double check on that. Let's double check on that. So Shadulu, yeah. So Shadulu was born 2014. Oh, so she's already, sorry, my bad. So she's already 9 years old. 9 years old. 9 years old. So she was born in September, October 2014. So she's coming on to 9 years old. Renata, you're asking what age can a leopard start hunting for itself? Well, Renata, already as a young little leopards, they start honing in on their hunting skills. So you're looking at like even a her little cub at about 7, 8 months old. You'll find if there's something like little francolins and squirrels, they start taking notice of that. They start stalking those little animals and the little birds and that, and they start honing onto that skill. So, but really, when they really become quite a good hunter, is once they got enough experience. That's like from about maybe 2.5, 3 years old. And that's when they start becoming more of a solid hunter, and that's when they will start bringing down something a little bit more substantial. But look at that beautiful tail, just lapping over the termite mound. Beautiful rosettes. We'll call it rosette, not spots. That is spots in front, but rosettes on the main part of her body and on her face. Well, I'm sure we're all crossing fingers that she's going to be successful in this little male cub's upbringing. Well, she's doing a fine job so far. I think there's other guys passing me now. So I'm just trying to... are you on Gary Main?
Yeah, on the Gary Main.
Alright, Gary Main is very long. It's a very, very long road. We're on Gary Main.
East of Philemon's Line.
Alright. As I said, we are in the center between Philemon's Cutline Junction and Shabamu Road. We're in the center, and you have to go north in the Schlatin. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this guy in. It's gonna be a mission. Alright, well, we're gonna try and help this poor gentleman into the sighting. Let's head over to Ralph with his elephants.
Well, everybody, we're in a lovely... Sorry about the radio, because I am actually just waiting to go in on a lion sighting, but we've got one of the best roadblocks in the world. These elephants have blocked us here in this tight space, so we're just going to stand our ground and enjoy this lovely little sighting within this. The closest one to us is probably about 5 meters away. Everybody's very relaxed, and I'm obviously just talking in a nice tone so that everybody understands that we don't mean any harm. We've got a big bull coming up here. Okay, buddy. See, we're stuck here, eh? We don't have anywhere to go, so if you guys don't mind just not giving us any problems. Corley, the big bull, look at that. Wow. So I think he's pursuing this female that's just in front of him. These are the best sightings when you don't expect them. He's more concerned about that female than he is with us. And as I say, we were sandwiched in here and we didn't have anywhere to go. Tina, yeah, they are the best roadblocks around, aren't they? And I'll just wait a little bit for them to move a bit forward, because the worst thing you can do with elephants is rush up behind them. They don't appreciate it, and you can understand why. So with elephants, always just need to respect that. There's a bit of communication going on, lots of exhaling of air. So now that he's moved on a little bit, we can maybe just slide in behind them and get a bit of a closer view. What do you think?
Welcome to Africam, your window to Africa's wild spaces. Immerse yourself in the captivating sights and sounds of nature. With our high-definition cameras, you'll feel like you're right there, in the heart of the action, where every moment is a surprise waiting to unfold. Join our global community of wildlife enthusiasts as we witness nature's drama unfold in real time.
Now I could turn a little bit, we'll just see what they do, because I don't want to get the pole in view from our roof cover, but I think for now that they're stationary, it's fine, eh Morgan?
Yep.
One of the most humbling experiences you can have is being in close proximity to elephants. They do command respect. Being nice and close up, you can also see the detail on their bodies. They do have quite a lot of hair, and obviously the body's full of wrinkles. Look at that. Helps for thermoregulation and obviously aiding in the elasticity of the skin. With such big body movements, they do need to have that extra space so they can stretch their legs out the back and out the front with enough room to maneuver.
So, we're giving you our contribution to Feline Friday. Now it's really difficult to off-road in this area. There we go. Huzzah! It is a lion and he is blonde. Hang on, let's see if we can maybe go off the road a little bit there. Much easier. There we go. I'm just gonna stop here. I reckon he's gonna cross in front of us or either follow the road. Wow, he is stunning. Hello. Yay! This is pretty exciting. It feels like we're just driving a lot today. So this is excellent.
There. Where did she go? Do you see? Oh, she's lying down. Sorry, my girl. Very close. It was so close, that thing just passed her. Did you get my audio now with the vehicle?
No, let me switch my vehicle so that I can get your audio.
No, no.
Traveling along more west on the remain. I don't see. I did book a more van concert, but on the fabric, I don't see any concert crossing more now.
Yeah, I'm full. We are in the middle of this big block. I don't even know. I don't even know if you're going to get our audio, but yeah, we're in the. Yeah.
But I will maybe try to get in the middle of this block.
All right. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this guy in. Looks like she just missed that steenbok. Unfortunate for her, she almost got that steenbok. That was close, huh, Odie? I did not know. Anyway, yeah. So it looks like she's just now relaxing, and that was a very close call for that steenbokkie. And gave enough space, and yeah, I think she's just trying to look out again on maybe another potential prey species that's going to be around here. Oh, it would have been amazing if she made a kill now then, because we'd have known she would have eaten a little bit, dragged it up into a tree, and we would have been maybe a very lucky vehicle this morning seeing that, and maybe this afternoon seeing a cub. But yeah, let's see what happens. Aaron, you say, isn't it too early in the day for hunting? Too early in the day? Aaron, they are very opportunistic. If there's an opportunity any time of the day, night, any part of the 24-hour day, if there's an opportunity, this leopard will take that chance to go and hunt. Yes, they do move more at night time. But you must remember now, especially for a female leopard like this now, Shadulu, where she's got a young male cub, they've got a little bit of an appetite going. So she's busy. She's more busy than any other leopards around that doesn't have cubs. Because now she has to make sure she kills something, she hoists it up into a tree, or maybe stashes it underneath a thicket. And then, of course, go to get the cub, bring the cub back again. Maybe the kill was taken and stolen by hyenas, and she has to move the cub away again. So a female leopard is very busy. All right, I think she's going behind the vehicle. do apologize for the aerial there. All right, let's go around. Alrighty. Okay, let's follow. Woo. Now this poor other guy can't find us. I'm just gonna try and get hold of him again. Shame. Okay, my vehicle is on. The engine is running. If you want to switch off and listen out, try and do that. I'm gonna give you a rev.
Alright, can you give me the rest so that I can...
All right, I'll give you a rev. Sorry, I just had to rev for the guy to find us in this block.
You're more east of me, I'll just come back to us there. Right.
All right, fantastic. I'm gonna try and keep her, but it's very, very thick here. Oh. All right, let's see if we can get through here. Oh. All right, she's yeah, I'll just go a little bit forward, yeah. Let me just go a bit forward, sorry, Heidi. Let it go past, yeah. I think I see a nice little gap that we can use. Wow, I can hear the other vehicle. Alright, she's slowly heading back to the west now. Okay. Yeah, I've got your visual. Just come straight east from where you are. We're actually heading straight towards you.
Alright, copy that. Thank you.
Yeah, there you are. Okay, you got my visual.
You get your visual?
Wonderful. Alright, she's coming, she's heading, okay, she's a little bit further south, but she's actually heading straight towards you. Okay, let's go. What a morning. What a Friday morning. It is perfect. It's like, it's a morning like this. Who needs coffee? Who needs caffeine? She might go on top of this. She loves termite mounds, hence the name Shadulu. So she might go on top of this termite mound for us. Let's try and get through this little section here. Sorry about that, my girl. Let's see if we can. You're right there. I'm going to go around. She's going to come on top. Franny, apparently Tortoise Pan was with the cub and Shadulu. Maybe she goes lies down for us. Go and lie in the shade for us. Lie down, please. No. No. The Tortoise Pan was there with her yesterday morning. She had a kill with her cub. And Tortoise Pan, of course, Tortoise Pan went to go and steal the kill from them. So he was there with them. So it just shows you, he'll spend his time, but it's not the male's job to really look after the youngster. That's the female. The male will make sure that there is no other males coming into the area for protection, but it's not his job to make a kill for the cub. He'll just steal the kill and eat it. She's sniffing something out that side. Maybe she'll go and lie in a bit of shade there. All right, well, we're going to try and stick with Shadulu. Let's head over to Ralph, as he's also got some cats for Feline Friday.
So, this is what we were on our way to when we got blocked by the elephants. But I'm not complaining. A elephant roadblock is never out of order. But, and I think it probably held us back that this sighting improved to this. With the cubs now out in the open, the male was not with the group earlier. And so with us a little bit delayed, we've actually got probably the best sighting of the morning. So, as we say, everything happens for a reason, and the reason that we got blocked was so that we could sit with this. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And these cubs are really grown up a lot since I last saw them. They've almost doubled in size. And of course, the male with the best hairstyle in the business. A little bit of contact calling. Beautiful. Bundu Bash, thanks for the nice comment. It's very kind of you. But yeah, we just try our best. And we do what we love, and the rest can take care of itself. But awesome, nice to have you on board with us, Bundu Bash. So these, it's just another vehicle that's starting up. I wonder if he's going to try and mate with her. That's what I was thinking, but she doesn't seem too keen. Nope. Well, and he's getting his rear end sniffed while he's trying to woo the female. You can see that there's doing the flimin' grimace. Okay, yeah, well, the cub.
Attention all lion enthusiasts. In honor of World Lion Day, WildEarth is hosting a Lion Fest Ask Me Anything. Cedric will be answering all of your questions about lions. Join us in celebrating the mighty kings of the safari on 12 August. Don't miss out. Watch it live. WildEarth, it's in your nature.
Look at those cute little faces. They all look like they're smiling. Still nice and cool, as I say, so they're out in the open, and there is a bit of higher level clouds around, so it is keeping it relatively cool, not as cold as it was, but for now they maybe still stay out here. Later on they might seek shelter and shade, maybe go down into the river line. We're right on the bank of the Bushman's River, which is still currently dry, but with the amount of rain we've had recently, hopefully the water table starting to fill up again, and if it continues in the nice wet period that we've been having in the not too distant future, hopefully the Bushman's River will start flowing here once more. It will make it a little bit different for the animals though, because the elephants have been enjoying walking down in that and feeding in that area, and the lions have been using it as good hunting grounds as well, for kudu and the likes.
Wow, what a drive it has been. Everything just went boom this morning. It's very typical. So to add to a little bit of diversity, we do have a reptile. The usual suspect in the usual place at Gowrie Dam. The buffalo are on their way here. I thought they might have arrived by now because they were really making headway, but I'm pretty sure they're going to end up here. So if you do watch the dam cam, you may end up with a herd of buffalo, which is really great news. There's 2 leopards on the property. My favorite. Hello, you. Look at the detail. Look at the markings. Look at that crest of feathers on the back of your head. Looking for fish, of course. But if you really look at the size of the skull here in comparison to the size of the beak, it's phenomenal. Ridiculously large beak. But of course, pied kingfishers are one of the few kingfishers that actually fish. It's such a misleading term. They don't all fish. Some of them do, but some of them don't. Some of them don't have fish in their diet at all. It really has been a good morning. Nice weather-wise. Oh, it was cold, but then it warmed up quickly. Black dam males, maribs, shadulu, buffalo. And that's just from Juma. But I hope you guys have all enjoyed it. We are, of course, nearing the end of the sunrise safari. Gemma, this is the calm after the cat storm. It's definitely not all about the cats, but my goodness, they have performed today. Especially after our little bit of cat drought that we've been going through. I didn't make it to the hyena den. I'm feeling a little bit guilty, but this is definitely the calm. I love coming here. I love just sort of ending at Gowrie Dam, just seeing if anything's going on down this side. Smelling the water. It smells so good. Now that my nostrils are not frozen anymore. Leaves great promise for the afternoon as well. When you finish the sunrise safari on a bang, leaves a lot of promise for sunset. I want spots, some more spots, hyenas and leopards. I've had my lion fix today, I've had my buffalo fix. These water monitor lizards do move, I promise. They just do a lot of sunbathing, especially in winter. You need to maximize that sun, but they do move. They do swim, they do hunt. This one's a juvenile. Apple lover, it's a great view, isn't it? It's great. You really can go into the detail. And their claws are huge. And that's because they've got that double lifestyle. Yes, they spend time in the water, but they also spend a lot of time on land, especially climbing trees. So you need those sharp claws to give you traction, to pull yourself up on the tree or the soil. Also dig a nest when it comes to that time for the female. Then you also need to be equipped for the water. You need to be streamlined. You need to be light. You need to have something, aka your tail, that's going to power you through the water. You need to be adapted to both environments. And that's not easy, but the water monitor is a perfect example of that. Oh, the hippo's here too. I didn't even realize that. Have you got a view from here, or should I move forward? It might be behind that tree for you. Yes, behind the tree. Excellent. Okay, let me go forward. Let me get my binos out. Just one. These hippos are moving around a lot. Between Treehouse Dam, Twin Dams, Gowrie Dam, even Buffelshoek Dam. All our dams, really. But the party seems to be at Baobab Dam. That's where everyone seems to want to hang out. If you're a hippo, that is. And Gemma, that's a perfect way to say, you know, it really is the calm before the storm here. No, the calm after the storm, sorry. The storm of cats, and this is a peaceful time of day. Didn't get that name, I'm afraid, but it is very much a serene ending. I did hope the buffalo were going to appear. They will, but maybe they've stopped for a little rest. It is coffee time after all. But either way, it's a serene ending. All the birds are definitely awake, that's for sure. Last night I could not figure out Shelley's Franklin. It was on the tip of my brain and it just would not come out. That's what a month in the bush does for you. On drive day in, day out. Oh, it wouldn't come out. We were having some really nice bird calls last night at the lion sighting. We always get asked when is the perfect time to go birding. Can't really go birding all day, but I think that once that sun is up, that sunrise period, and just before the sun sets, that sunset period is really the perfect time. I'm actually starting to feel really hot. I think it's time to take this scarf off. My goodness, I cannot handle winter here. The scarf doesn't want to come off though. That's a bit of a problem. But it is really hot. I'm feeling how that monitor lizard is feeling. Sunbathing time. Yeah, the scarf's not coming off. But on that note, everyone, it is the end of the sunrise safari. It has been a wonderful morning. My goodness, sightings from all the locations have really been on fire. I think we've had almost all the big five, possibly minus the rhino. But on that note, thank you everyone for jumping on board. It really has been a pleasure, and please do join us for the sunset safari this afternoon. Bye for now.